Now, I'm not going to review this film. Sure, I could give it a 6 or a 7 easy. I enjoyed this one. No, we're going to let this one be handled by one of our movie night correspondents. He's standing by live from St. Peter's Basilica from the Vatican. Jory Karen, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, John. I'm live here from the pews of St. Peter's Basilica, where I'm about to be ordained as one of the Pope's newest cardinals. No, I'm not. I thought that was kind of strange. I have sinned an awful lot in my life. Oh well, let's just get right down to it and review this 2009 box office hit. Angels and Demons is the much anticipated sequel to the hugely successful Da Vinci Code. Fun fact here, although Angels and Demons is a sequel to the Da Vinci Code in movie form, it is actually the prequel to it in book form. But I digress. Angels and Demons brings back Robert Langdon, a Harvard professor of symbology or symbolism, whichever studies symbols, to solve the case of the missing vial of stolen antimatter. Robert Langdon and friends have to follow a whole bunch of hidden clues to save the world. Now just when you think I've heard that plot before, the movie introduces the Catholic Church vs. Illuminati twist. Oh snap! Riding on the heels of the Pope's death and the uneasy times of the papal election, the Illuminati kidnaps the four preferiti. For those not familiar with the Catholic lingo, they are the four preferred contenders for the Pope's seat. On top of that preferiti ponage, the Illuminati decide to take their newly acquired speck of antimatter and consume Vatican City in light. In layman's terms, the Illuminati are going to use their weapon of mass destruction to blow up Vatican City. They don't just want to blow up Vatican City though, they want to create a series of solvable riddles to ultimately thwart the attempt of the church's destruction. Robert Langdon, who apparently knows everything about the Catholic Church, even more than the Catholic Church itself, discerns that the Illuminati are going to kill in the style of earth, wind, fire, and water. But I felt as though they lacked heart, and so the Captain Planet Star of Approval can't be awarded to this flick. This movie brought so much to the big screen. It had history, mystery, mutilation, a detonation, a car chase, and the beautiful face of Isla Zur. Wait a second, wasn't she in Munich, a movie directed by Steven Spielberg? Tom Hanks has been in a bunch of movies directed by Steven Spielberg. There must be a clue here. I'm in the 8th row of pews. H is the 8th letter of the alphabet. Tom Hanks' last name begins with an H. I'm so close. The clue must be right under my feet.
Jory, implausible deduction skills aside, I don't think that defacing Vatican property is such a good idea.
Listen, John, I need answers. And even though some of the acting was a little too revealing and obvious, and some of the clever comedic one-liners a little out of place, it still held my undivided attention. That's what I thought about it though. Let's see what some of you guys had to say. Tubed Up 909 Part 3 said, Angels and Demons, a surprisingly very entertaining college lecture. Hank gives a great performance, no surprise, and it has a pretty good twist at the end. Blah 22-3-22. Angels and Demons was a good movie, but it can get very slow. Maybe if you read the book beforehand, the movie will seem better or worse. But as a person who has not read it, I thought it was just okay. Delt or Gal says, Angels and Demons was a well-made movie that I think many people who haven't read the book would enjoy, but as an avid Dan Brown reader, I was rather disappointed in the alterations the producer saw fit to make. That's what you thought, but did I enjoy it? Yeah, that's why I'm gonna have to give it a cool. But John, I have to know, what mysteries can I solve by digging up this 400-year-old floor? I mean, if there's even a remote chance that by doing this I can save Vatican City, then it's something I'm gonna have to do. Does anyone have a shovel? Back to you, John.
Thanks for that exciting movie review, Jory.